All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Friday. You know what that means? Say it with me. It is Octane Friday. And that's when we kick it up a notch and give you something a little bit heavier, a little bit harder. Those of you wondering, is he going to do the Chicks today? We're going to hold off on that, see what we can pull together. But yes, we went to a concert last night, and we saw the Chicks in Hartford, and boy, they just knocked it out of the park. So good live. We had great seats, and they just put on an awesome show. Great crowd, so much to like. And if you ever get a chance to see them sing live, it is well worth it. What are we talking about today? We're going back to the summer of 1984, the sweet spot in hard rock, right around there. And we're talking about Motley Crue's second album, Shout at the Devil, released in September of 1983. Remember, it's Shout at the Devil, people, not Shout with the Devil. Remember that? Remember all that? Just everyone getting all up in arms about that? All because they had a pentagram on their record. That got them a lot of advertising, by the way. But this was PMRC hearings were all around this time. Parental warnings soon to be coming out. But this record was at the forefront of that, just based on the way they were dressed in their music videos. But yes, it's Shout at the Devil. And this is the record that just broke them into the mainstream. After their debut with that song Livewire on it, they're touring with Kiss. They only made it through 5 cities before Gene Simmons kicked them off for being just too much. Imagine that. They were just too much to do, too much trouble. So they go back to LA, where they're from, start working on this record, and then they put this thing out. And of course, this has all those great songs on there. We'll talk about that in a second. And then they end up on the tour with Ozzy after this record, 1984, 1985. Can you imagine what that tour was like? Ozzy in his prime and Motley Crue, young Motley Crue. There's probably a lot of stories there for sure. And then they end up going 84 to Monsters of Rock. I mean, it was just, no wonder they owned the 80s and all the stories you heard. I mean, can you just imagine all of that? But we are talking about one song in particular. Now, Shout at the Devil was the first song that I ever heard from them and loved so much, and you always had to play In the Beginning. If you didn't play In the Beginning, that spoken word start, then you just failed. But we're talking about the song Looks That Kill, probably one of their most well-known songs and one of their best songs, I think, if you ask me. But this is a great song, and it spent 50 weeks on the charts, and really it's one that put them into national exposure as far as popularity is concerned. You look at this music video, and it's right out of the middle of the 80s. Here we are in post-apocalyptic world with much like Mad Max and these makeup and people that are just living. Anyway, you have to see it to believe it. But that one of the actresses in there, Wendy Berry, she is also in the video for Rat's Back for More, which we've done before. And I forgot to mention, in that video you see cameos from Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx playing the police officers in that video, if you've forgotten that happens. Also Tawny Katane in that one. How about that? So maybe we should revisit Rat again one of these days. But that's pretty cool. But Looks That Kill, just a great song to crank up on a Friday. And what's not to like about Motley Crue on Octane Friday? Anyone see them back in the day? They're touring now, right? But did anyone see those tours? I'm sure there's some Theater of Pain people out there. I'm sure you're out there. Comment below. Throw some Motley Crue on today as we roll into 4th of July weekend. It's Looks That Kill. Have a good one, and as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.